Peace be with you. Happy Ramadan. We were minding our own business last summer, just as the fall was coming in, busy trying to help in different emergencies around the world, such as Somalia, Yemen, Syria, and others. And here in America, we had our hands full with Hurricane Irene, Irma, and we were responding. Then we got the news that there was an amendment that was going through the House that would ban our international partner, Islamic Relief Worldwide, from receiving USAID funding. We realized that was the first step. The second step would be ban them, and the third step would be to ban Islamic Relief USA. And we had 36 hours to deal with this. I literally lost my voice. I had just come back from pilgrimage Hajj, and we reached out to Sam and to InterAction. And we had been spending the last few years trying to work in the interaction and civil society space here in the USA. Originally, there was a reluctance. We felt we wouldn't be welcome. We were wondering, would those who are white, would those who are Jewish, Christian, would those of no faith and other faith, would they accept us to be their partners? So we reached out in our faith to them and worked with them, and we believed had meaningful partnerships. The question was going to be now, all of the rhetoric that we had heard, we will stand with you. If there's a Muslim registry, we will sign up with you. If they attack you, we will defend you. Was that all bluster? Or did we really mean it? Did our society believe in slogans, or would they stand with us to protect each other? When we were defending civil society overseas, would we defend it here in America? Our intention was to help civil society space when we work with Sam and InterAction with the Together Coalition. We didn't realize we would be under attack. What would our colleagues do? So my voice was taken away. Would Sam, Lindsay, and all of you raise your voices in solidarity with us? When God had taken away my voice, would you raise your voices?
On behalf of CRS and our staff across the world, we wish blessings, happiness, and peace in Ramadan for those who are following that tradition. We believe very much in our DNA that interfaith collaboration is critical to carrying out our mission, and that our relationship with people of shared faith traditions, people of goodwill, is critical in providing humanitarian support and peace across the world. And we have a rich and deep relationship with Islamic Relief in our work overseas. We are most grateful to be able to help people in Yemen through their presence on the ground, to serve pregnant women and malnourished children who we would not be able to reach without their good work. We also receive their support for Syrian refugees in the Balkans and Europe, and that is critical to our assistance to those refugees who are so affected by the crisis. But more importantly, we are able to join together humanitarian relief and peace building in our work together in Central African Republic, where we work with local faith leaders and faith leaders across our NGO community to build the capacity to do reconciliation. It is, for us, part of our DNA that we want to stand together with people of faith and goodwill to build a better world. And so it was not very hard to decide that we should join together and face the challenge of ability to serve as a real crisis. We are deeply proud of our American tradition of faith communities serving people who are poor and vulnerable across the globe.
My name is Robert Bank, and I am the President and CEO of American Jewish World Service. Good morning. Growing up in Cape Town, South Africa, I spent most of my weekends in my grandparents' store in District 6, a neighborhood known for its diverse community of Muslims, Jews, and Christians. The South African apartheid regime could not tolerate the idea of a multiracial and multi-faith community and forcibly evicted the inhabitants of District 6, bulldozing the homes of 60,000 people. I had hoped that the end of the South African apartheid regime and the years of struggle for civil rights in this country would have brought an end to cynical attempts by governments to build walls between us. But that is not the case. So when a representative of the American government tries to bulldoze one of our sister organizations, we must act. Islamic Relief USA is a colleague organization, and Anwar is a friend. Both organizations respond to disasters and fight for the rights of some of the most vulnerable people all over the world. And as I learned recently, Anwar and I have a deep love for a specific Middle Eastern dessert, baklava. There was not a moment's hesitation for us when Sam contacted me last September to ask us to oppose the DeSantis amendment. We sent a whip alert to all members of the House, worked with some Jewish Congress members specifically, and joined our InterAction colleagues in a public statement calling on Congress to vote down the amendment. Rabbi Joachim Prince, who fled Hitler's regime in the 30s and devoted much of his life in the United States to the civil rights movement, spoke at the March on Washington and said, "Bigotry and hatred are not the most urgent problem. The most urgent, the most disgraceful, the most shameful, and the most tragic problem is silence." American Jewish World Service was founded to actualize the Jewish value of B'Tselem Elohim, that each of us is created in the divine image. Especially now, at the 70th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, we at AJWS will not remain silent in the face of bigotry and hatred, and we are grateful to the InterAction community for its commitment to building a better world anchored in equality and justice. Thank you.
Islamic Relief Worldwide and CARE also work together in communities all around the world, particularly in the sites of some of the world's greatest humanitarian crises at this moment: Somalia, South Sudan, Syria, Yemen, Bangladesh, just to name a few. Islamic Relief Worldwide and CARE, we stand together out in the field, working to address the challenges that we face together as humanitarians operating in these highly complex and difficult environments, and standing with and serving some of the most effective and vulnerable communities. Likewise, we stand together here in Washington, raising our voices together in defense of shared values and in the pursuit of shared policy goals to reduce that global humanitarian need. And that need is far too great to allow one of those voices to ever be silenced. So when this amendment was proposed, like my colleagues here, there was no debate, there was no difficult decision to make. We knew that we had to stand together. We leveraged the congressional relationships that we had to bolster the voice of a leading supporter in Congress, Representative Keith Ellison, to work with InterAction, to work within the community, to circulate our concerns, and to educate members of Congress really in key influential places on both sides of the aisle across Capitol Hill. And with just a few hours to act, we mobilized our grassroots supporters and grass top supporters in some key influential districts so that those members of Congress could weigh in directly with the amendment's author and express our concerns. We took collective action, and we overcame an effort that was heavily tainted with religious intolerance. And we did that, we were successful in that because we stood by our shared principles and our shared goals, and we spoke together with one single voice.
In 2016, a group of CEOs in our CEOs retreat had a conversation about fear, about prosecution, about being alone. And we made a commitment. The commitment was quite simple. If one of us is attacked, it's attack on all of us. That we will not leave someone behind and alone. That if they come after Islamic Relief, we will not wait till they come after us all. Some 50 organizations in this room, within 24 hours, came together without questioning, without asking what it meant for their brands and who they are, but to affirm their principles, that we could stand together, that we could link arms, and that we could, when something had passed through the leadership of the House and there was no hope that we could defeat an amendment, that you in this room could live by your courage or your convictions and make it clear, don't come after an NGO because we stand together. Thank you.